Hi, I'm Nick, and I like comics. Welcome to another episode of Adam and Nick Spoil Some Comics, where we spoil some comics. Except there's no we today, it's just me. Adam is under the weather and doesn't really have a voice, so we'll see how this goes. Today I will be talking about Batman and Robin Eternal number 12. This issue was written by Ed Brinson, with Javier Pina and Goran Sudska as the art. Sorry if I butchered that, because I know that I did. This issue starts off exactly where the last one ended off, in the Sculptor's house. Now, Dick is telling the Sculptor, hey, you need to telepathically go in my mind and tell me all this stuff about Batman. Even though he knows that it will possibly kill her, kill him, or kill them both. And as the Sculptor telepathically connects to Dick, he passes out, blood comes out of his nose, and we wonder what's going to happen. He's probably dead. Spoilers, no he's not. We see this little tangle between the Sculptor and Dick as she's trying to get away. I don't think that she wants to do this. I don't think that she wants to be killed. And then she ends up running through this little white door, which is a door in her mind. And we see her as a small child. And Dick's like, what's going on here? And she says, I have to start at the beginning. We see her as a small child sitting on her bed crying, and she looks over and her parents are murdered. Blood is all over the wall. And we see the mother there with a young David Cain. See, the mother knew that she was a telepath and wanted her for growing her children, for making her children. And so that's why she murdered her parents so that she could take her to have her be a part of her family. We see them later eating dinner, and it seems that the Sculptor has deduced that the only way that I'm going to live, the only way that I'm going to make it, is if I play along with the mother. She says, I stayed because there was no alternative. There was nowhere for me to go, even if I could escape, and for better or worse, it was still a family. So your family had died, so she wanted a family. Then we see that David Cain, the orphan on the other hand, absolutely loved the killing. He loved being a part of it. He loved taking people out. He loved this process of making children. So in order to maybe justify herself a little bit because of the horrible things that they had done, the Sculptor didn't totally wipe out the trauma from their life. She didn't totally do exactly what she was supposed to. She scrubbed and got rid of the things that weren't necessary, but she kept the tragedy when she could. Because you see, the mother only kept children around if the children gave her something. She only gave love to kids if the kids did what she wanted them to do. So it was her way of kind of making this wrong of their families being destroyed a right by having them act good so that the mother would then give her love. We then cut to another area where there are children sparring, there are children fighting, and Dick's like, no, I can't believe this, and I don't like this. And then he says to the Sculptor, I'm not buying it. I don't believe you for a second that you believe any of this garbage. And the Sculptor says, I don't. Not anymore. But I need you to know what you are up against. All of the mother's children are still out there. They're lawyers, doctors, scientists, politicians, heads of industry, her sleeper agents. She can call them into action at any point and cripple society. They're weapons to be used by the mother. She then goes on to say that the mother has streamlined the process and discontinued the old line. And what that means is the Sculptor is no longer necessary. She has new ways of doing things. She has new ways of making these children, these weapons, and she needs to be stopped. The only way to free these children is to take out the mother. Because if the mother is taken out, she cannot call them into action because she is the only one that can activate them. The Sculptor then goes on to say that she hoped that they were out, that they'd be free from her grasp, but they're not. And Dick says, please help me. Help me get rid of the mother. Come with us, help us. And she says, I can't. I'm never going back. And Dick says, well, show me. Show me where she is. I know you know where she is. Show me where she is. And she touches him on the forehead, and she says, everything that you need to know is in there right now. We then jump to the Sculptor and Dick talking about Batman. Dick really wanted to know what was going on with Batman, and he wanted to understand why Batman was working with the mother and all of this stuff. And we see this conversation that's happening between Batman and the mother. And basically, the mother is saying that Dick is a failure. Dick is not good enough. That the only reason that she figured out that Bruce was Batman was because of Dick. Dick is obviously getting upset with this conversation as he's hearing the mother spout what he thinks are these lies into Batman's ear, really manipulated him, really twisting his mind. And then Batman says, "You're right. I've turned a blind eye to Dick's mistakes and his shortcomings. Convinced myself that he just needed time, that he would come around. But there comes a point where I have to admit that he's had more than enough chances. He's not the partner that I'd hoped for." All of Dick's fears are now coming to fruition, right? Ever since he was a small boy, whenever he got hit by that fear gas from the Scarecrow, his worry has been, I am not good enough. I am not good enough. And here, Batman is agreeing with the mother and saying, you're right, Dick isn't good enough. I need a new heir. So then Batman goes on to say, don't let the orphan take care of it. I want to do it. If I'm going to raise an heir and I'm going to make a child like this, then I want to go and do it. Dick then obviously freaks out, and he grabs the Sculptor, threatening to punch her, and he says, that's the first rule of Batman, do not kill. You're making this up, this is a lie, this isn't real. And then she says, I warned you that you wouldn't like it. You're in control here, none of this is false. Deep down you know it. Batman betrayed you. But then the Sculptor says, don't blame him, that's the mother's influence. We then have a weird dream sequence where Dick walks up to Batman where Batman is holding a gun, which is a flashback to the very first issue where Batman killed a young boy's parents. As Dick grabs him and says, Batman, what did you do? Why are you doing this? Batman turns around and he has this demonic look on his face. Looks like he wants to eat Dick. And Dick just screams, no, which then wakes him up. Harper runs over to him and wakes him up and gets him up. He says, hey, are you okay? And he says, give me a minute. And then he tries to go over to the Sculptor and grab her and says, come on, you're coming with us. We're going to save these people, basically. And she says, no, I told you I was never going back there. I've given you everything that you need to find her to save Cassandra and the rest of the mother's children. Dick and Harper then go on this adventure to save these children, to rescue them, and so they are climbing down a cliff face and going swimming or something like that. And Dick has come to the conclusion that, well, if we don't take out the mother, if we don't stop her, then the first thing that she is going to wipe out, the first thing that she is going to get rid of is her children. As we go to the next page, we see this cave, and then we see shots zooming out of people dead. Lots and lots of people dead. We see footprints walking off through the cave. And then the last panel of the issue is Cassandra Cain, covered in blood, sitting there, obviously freaking out. Truthfully, whenever I first read this issue, I wasn't too keen on it. I wasn't too excited about it. Normally, I'm a sucker for going in the past and being revealed and seeing things that, that we don't exactly know how they happened. But for some reason, this issue was just kind of boring to me. I don't exactly know why that is. Now, the second time reading through, I liked it a little bit better. I picked up on a few more things, but overall, I'm not super impressed with this issue. I am intrigued to see what the fallout from this thing with Cassandra. Did she kill all those people because the mother asked her to? Did she kill them as a mercy because she knows the control that the mother has over her? What's kind of the story going on there? What's going on with Bruce? That again seems to be the most interesting part of this story to me, is the stuff that's happening in the past with Bruce as him as Batman. Did he go and really kill these people? Did he do this to just try and infiltrate the mother? What's going on with him? So with all that said, I think I'm only going to give this issue a 2.5 out of 5 Batman symbols. Adam asked me to go ahead and review this issue for him, so I'm going to do my best to put on my red beard and tell you all what I think Adam would say about this issue. First off, I know that he would say that he really likes the stuff with Batman in the past. What's going on? Why is Batman doing all these stuff, all these questions? I think that that's about it where he would say he would like it. There is no Jason and there's no Tim. He liked their camaraderie. He liked their jokes. This issue really wasn't very funny at all. I think we'll again say that Dick is acting out of place, being very irrational. He's typically not that way. And the art was real, since it was done by a couple artists, it wasn't very consistent throughout the entire issue. So I'm going to go ahead and guess and say that Adam would give this one a 1.5 out of 5 Robin symbols. So overall, we only give this issue a 4 out of 10. Not very good, in our opinion. though it's kind of my opinion. Anyway. So what are you thinking of this series? Are you really enjoying it? Overall, has it been very good for you? Please comment down below and let us know what you think. Are you going to continue to read this? You know, we're about halfway through this run. Are you going to continue to pick it up? Or are you going to continue to read it? Make sure not to forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Chat with us, ask us questions. We want to talk with you guys and connect with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we're going to spend some time and ring in the new year. Happy New Year's. Enjoy. Bye.